So, do you have any doubts regarding your previous session?
No, sir.
Okay. So, Ramesh, according to our previous session, okay,
Okay.
we left only one service, which is the connection establishment service. Okay.
Okay.
So, what is it? What is the connection establishment stands for? Okay. Like, I am an unknown guy for you, and also you are an unable guy for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Even we don't know each other. Okay. But now we are sharing some information with each other. Okay. So to doing this task, definitely we first create a connection. Okay. So whenever we choose the reliable protocol like TCP to share some information between our devices, then they first create a connectivity or the possible path or a reliable connection between them. Okay. So to doing these things, like you can see, just first take an example of real human. Like this is you and this is me. Okay. On the first class, I simply text you like, "Hello, this is Lakshmikant. I am here to take your session." Blah 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 blah. Okay.
Yeah.
After addressing you like this, then you simply send me a reply. Okay. Like, okay, sir, I can get you. And hey, hello, I am Ramesh and Falana Dinkana. Okay. Like after that, you simply told me something like, "Sir, how are you?" Okay. Then I
Yeah.
simply send you a reply like, "Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you. What about you?" So this is the first primary three packets should exchange in between ourselves. Okay. That uh, confirm that we are continuing with our talk, like we are creating a reliable connection to share some information with each other. Okay. So exactly the same process should performed by the devices. Like if you see, I have two systems A and another one is the system B. And whenever I want to share information from system A to system B, and in that case, if I choose TCP, which is the reliable one protocol, then in this case, system A first send a packet to PCB. That packet is named as SYN packet. SYN stands for the synchronization packet. Synchronization means whenever you start a process, then you simply share some information before it. So that process is known as the synchronization process. So the first packet should negotiated between them is SYN packet, and the interested system first send it this type of packet to its opponent. Okay.
Okay.
Second thing is that whenever PCB received the SYN packet successfully, then it immediately uh, then it immediately send a reply to its opponent like acknowledgement, and in a connection, like both those devices should want to share information with each other. On basis of that thing, PCB also send a SYN packet to PCA. It shows that PCB also want to share some information with PCA. Okay, and then after PCA received the acknowledgement, which means that PCB successfully received the SYN packet, and the other hand, when PCS again view the SYN packet, then it simply recognize that, like it simply guess that PCB may wants to share the information with PCA as well. So it simply send a acknowledgement to PCB. Okay.
Yeah.
So over the devices, most of them it simply shares three type of packets with each other to create a reliable connection. So that process is specifically named as three-way connection. Okay,
Yeah.
that process is specifically named as three-way connection. Okay, sorry. Actually, it is the whole technical name is named as the three-way handshaking process. Okay,
Okay.
okay. So whenever we try to get more into this process, then you can see like we are the humans and we have the ability to sense whenever we heard like I hear something like I said like I heard something like you tell me like sir, we are gonna eat some chicken, okay, which means that like you are offering some uh, a small party to me, okay, you are going to arrange a small party to me, and it is a happy moment, and that symbolize that you are in a happy mood, like the positive vibes came towards you, okay.
Yes.
The second thing is that now you are simply told me that sir, uh, I am not in a happy mood, so we stop the batch for today. So after heard that things, I definitely set my mind that you are not in a happy mood. Like the negative vibe should come up towards you. Okay. So we are the humans, and on the basis of our sensible character, we can able to sense how our opponent how our opponent should behave. Is it the positive manner or the negative way? Okay. So that thing, the sensible, like to identify the sense of the information that negotiated between our devices. So the devices doesn't have that much of ability. Okay. So to sense that things, we simply use some identifiers, and in TCP case, those identifiers specifically named as flags. Okay. So flags are the identifiers which are used to identify the purpose of the packets. That packets should negotiated between our devices. Okay. So specifically, we have six types of flags in TCP. These are the synchronization flag, the acknowledgement flag, the urgent flag, the push flag, the reset flag, and the fin flag, like the finish flag. So these are the specifically six flags or the six identifiers that we are using over the packers, that packers to negotiated between our devices. On the basis of that things, our devices sense the purpose of the packet that negotiated between them and create a reliable connection on the behalf of this identifier as well. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. 1 minute, Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Ramesh, you can see. So the scene, the egg, these are nothing else more than the identifiers. These are the identifiers which used to identify the purpose of the packets that negotiated between these devices during the TCP connection establishment process. Clear? Okay. So Ramesh, the second thing is that in this three-way handshaking process, actually we are negotiating a much more information over our devices. Okay, so this all the information should arranged in a particular manner, and that manner should named as the TCP header. Okay, so in TCP header we specifically get the TCP header is of 20 bytes by default, but some of the cases it simply raised its volume and the sizes may be 24 bytes. Okay, so in this header we simply see these information to divided into five fields. If I take the TCP header into 20 bytes, then it's simply divided into five bytes. So divided into five parts or five fields. First, second, third, fourth, and five. Got it? So
Yeah.
whenever you can see each field one, two, three, four, five. These are the five fields, and the whole size is 20 byte by default. So if I divided this 20 byte into this five field, then each field have sorry each field has uh, 4 byte. Okay, so the first byte, so the first field is again divided into two pieces. So each become 2 bytes. Okay, so
Okay.
the first field carries about our source port number, and the second part is carried about your destination port number. Okay, so now you can see whenever I already told you that the port number having 16 bits. Okay, Now you can see I explaining that why it is 16 bits. Like in on the basis of this port number concept, it is up to 2 bytes. So 2 bytes equals to 16 bits. That's why I told you that the port number is up to 16 bits. Okay.
Yeah.
So the port number and the next field is about your sequence number. Actually, sequence number is a process which is used to uh, record or used to maintain the record, like how many packets of negotiated, okay, or share through the device. Like PCA share some information with PCB. Like you can see, I simply wipe out all the things. Okay,
Yeah.
we are getting some space. Okay, like you can see now, whenever this is the system A and this is the system B. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you can see whenever I share some information like PCA, okay. So the source side is the system A and the destination side is system B. So source side it simply store the information. It simply carries the information about the source port number. The source number is the random pick number. It choose any random number for its source port number in the range of dynamic port number. Like you can see if it is carry 1025. Okay. So the destination, it is the the destination port number is belongs to
Mhm.
the well-known port number range. Okay, so like you can see, is that particular service that the PCA requested to system B is telnet. Okay, so the service number is to identify the telnet is 23. So the destination port number is 23. Like the second option is sequence number. Sequence number is simply used to maintain the record, like how many packets were negotiated from system A to system B. Like how many, how many numbers of packet should generated by the system A to PCB. Okay, so it's simply it is the first packet, then it's simply recorded as 0. The next field is about your acknowledgement number, and the acknowledgement number here, it doesn't need to acknowledge, it also carries the 0. The next field carries the header length. Header length is simply defined the whole length of this particular header. Okay, so its default size is 20, but in this first scenario, like whenever a system first wants to create a reliable connection between them, then at that case the header length is 24 byte. Why it is 24 byte? We are discussing in a little time after. Okay, after a little time. Okay, so like you
Yeah.
can see, it is a header length. Second thing is about your reserved. Actually, it is reserved for future purpose, so no need to know anything in this reserve field. Second thing is about your flags, where we can discuss about these 6 types of flags. And the
Yeah.
second thing is about your window size. Window
Windows.
size. Yeah, window size is specifically specifically carries the processing ability, like the buffer memory amount that we
Oh.
already discussed it yesterday. Okay,
Yeah.
so in the first scenario, whenever both the devices should negotiated their buffer memory information in this window size field, then that particular field is not more than capable to carry this information. So it simply need an extra field. Sorry, it simply
Oh.
need an extra field, okay, to carry that information. So this extra field is known as the option field, and in this scenario it simply create a 4 byte information extra in this header field. So the whole header size slightly increase up to 24 byte. Okay, that's why I written here 24 on the first packet. Okay, the next line, it is again divided into two parts, and the first part is for your checksum. Actually, checksum is the process. Okay,
Some.
checksum is the process which is used to check the data integrity. Okay, over the device. Like it simply run algorithm, a hashing algorithm over this all the informations, and simply get a ciphertext, and it simply converted the ciphertext into a hexadecimal form and simply paste that values in this section field and simply negotiated it or forwarded it towards its opponent or towards its another system. Okay. So
Yeah.
whenever the PCB receives that packet, it simply doesn't directly process all the things. It first check the integrity, whether the packet that sent by the system A, it whether it is not change their information or not. Okay, so it do data integrity checking process, which is specifically named as the checksum process. So it simply it simply calculate a hashing algorithm. It simply run an hashing algorithm over all this information and simply get uh, a ciphertext value, and it also convert that ciphertext value into the hexadecimal form, and that value should check that value should definitely be checked with this checksum value that's sent by the system A. Whether both the values are same, then system B receive that packet, and it simply uh, knowing that, like, it simply clarify that the whole data that successfully sent by the system A doesn't modify, sorry, did not modify. Okay, it simply received the data, and the whole the data is successfully received, and it is fully secured. Okay, so
Yeah.
to doing these things, it simply use the data integrity process, whether it is using this six of field. Okay, the next thing is about your urgent pointer. Urgent pointer, whether the urgent pointer is about your urgent flag. Okay, so in our next topic we are discussing about these flags, so that in that case we are continue with it. Okay, so the first packet is simply negotiate the source to sequence number as 0, acknowledgement number is absent, header length is 24, flag for scene. Okay, because it is a synchronization pack, which means that PCA wants to create a reliable connection with PCB. A second thing is about your window size, where the size is 24 byte, and then the checksum. Okay, and here is the optional field as well. Okay, and at this time, when PCB successfully received the synchronization packet towards A, then it simply send a reply packet towards system B. So in this case, the source port number is 23, the destination port number is 1025, the source port number is 0, and the acknowledgement number is 1, because
Um,
it simply acknowledges the synchronization packet that's sent by system A, and the sequence number is 0, and simply increase one count on this sequence number over this sequence number, and the value is 1, and simply posted that value in this field. Now the header length is 24 byte. Okay, then flag is first seen plus ACK. Okay, the window size is 24, then uh, checksum, then the option field. Okay, and now PCB simply send uh, an acknowledgement towards system A, like the source port number is 1025, the destination number is 23, the sequence number is, like, the acknowledgement number is 1, it simply uses acknowledgement number to its next sequence number, so the number is 1. The acknowledgement is 1 because the acknowledgement sent by the, sorry, the synchronization sequence number is 0, that's sent by the system B, and it simply includes one count value on this sequence number where the acknowledgement of value is 1. Okay, now
yeah.
the header length is 20 because on these both packets it simply successfully shared the buffer memory information with each other. Now it doesn't need to share more on it. Okay, so now the header length is 40 byte. The flag is about your acknowledgement. Okay, like it simply acknowledge that SYN packet should be received by uh, PCB. Okay, so and here is the window size did not need to negotiate. Then the checksum, that's it. So in above these two packets, it's simply negotiated. The header length has 20 bytes. It's simply when this header is 20 bytes, then it's simply adding a new field for its buffer memory negotiation. Okay, that field is named as option field. Okay, and after this successful negotiation of its buffer memory information with each other, then it simply posted all these values as its default size, which is 40 byte. So this is all about your reliable data transmission, whether our device should use the TCP. Okay, if our device not using TCP, then you on the basis of UDP, our device doesn't follow any process. It simply directly share the information to its another system. But whenever our system using TCP to negotiate their information, then it simply follows and able to share all this information accordingly. Okay, and this whole process that device has performed before creating a reliable connection over our device, that process is specifically named as the three-way connection process or the three-way handshaking process. Is it understandable, Ramesh?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it's little bit clear or fully clear.
Clear.
Okay, Ramesh, fine. So now we are discussing about our flags. Okay. So the scene flag is used to identify that particular packet is the it is the synchronization packet, which means that some PC wants to share or wants to create a reliable connection with its operating system. Second things is about your acknowledgement flag, and the acknowledgement flag is used to identify that it simply received, it simply shared a reply packet to its opponent. What is about urgent? Like you can see, I simply told you that on our device, okay, the information doesn't share separately. Okay, sorry, the information doesn't process separately like one after another. It first arranges in between our buffer memory. Whenever the buffer memory is completely full, then all the information parallelly processed in between our microprocessor. Okay, but some cases, some of the data urgently need to be processed. Okay, some data urgently need to be processed. So in that case, it doesn't send the information towards the buffer memory. Instead of sending that whole data, like you can see, if you take a funny example of our real life. Okay, so in the morning, in the early morning, okay,
Yeah.
you can see whether you, oh, sorry, I don't know whether you are living or not. Okay, but still, assuming that you are living in a hostel, okay,
Yeah.
and the whole hostel you are having single toilet, and every morning you have like you will get a long queue to stand and wait for to go to the washroom. Okay, but one day like you are getting a very urgent case. So in this time, you doesn't follow any rule, any queue or anything else. You simply run to this washroom and do whatever you want. Okay. So
Yeah.
in this scenario like this, on our devices, some of the cases, uh, some of the information should need urgently processed. So in that case, that type of information doesn't arranged in between our buffer memory. Okay. So those data instead of buffer memory, it's simply going to the cache memory, and in between this cache memory, it's simply processed through the microprocessor, and the whole process is extremely fast. Even we don't able to see that process clearly. So to identify which type of information should get processed in between our microprocessor, our system use the origin pointer, and over this field we simply make the record that which type of information processed urgently. Okay,
Okay.
and if you could use the identifier as urgent flag over on that data. Okay, okay. So the next part topic is about your push flag. Push flag is like push means to apply some force. Like whether you can see, okay, during the data communication process. Okay, so like you can see, here is the system and here is the another system. Okay, like this system having the ability to share information on a certain period of time is 20 numbers of packets. Okay, now this particular system share the information with system B, and it simply utilize its whole memory to negotiate the data towards this another system. At the same time, another system joined the connection, process and simply requested to negotiate the information with the system. Now the system having two active connections. So on the basis of this connection, it simply separate its information negotiation ability in between these two systems. Like now the ability becomes 20 and 20. Sorry, 10 and 10. Okay, instead of
Okay.
20. Okay. So in this case, the buffer memory that this particular system used for this system 2, okay, is 10. Okay. So whenever it simply send the packets, okay, the first count is 20. So in
Mm.
these 20 packets, now the system doesn't drop the whole data. It simply arranges the whole data as its backup in its buffer memory. So now the buffer memory is 10. It simply replies about these 10 numbers of packets, and after successfully received this 10 numbers, sorry, 10, sorry, after successfully received the replies of these 10 packets, the PCB simply send the 10 packets, and it simply knows that ma, the remaining 10 packets still present in its buffer memory. So whenever it sends the remaining 10 numbers of packet towards this middle PC, it simply placed a push flag over on that packet.
Okay.
Whenever the packet entered to its buffer memory, it simply pushes all the pending packets to process fastly. Whenever all these new packets so get processed one after another. So that to performing this task on the reliable connection protocol, they are using the specific types of flag which is named as the push flag. Okay. Your next flag is about your RST. RST means that reset. Reset means like you can see here is the system. Here is the server. Okay. Sorry, I'm extremely very sorry, Ramesh.
No,
Uh,
no.
uh, I'm literally suffering a very bad fever and also cold as well. I don't know why, but it is terrible.
Take, can you take this next?
Uh,
The
yeah, the okay. Look, like this is the server. Okay, like here is the system. This server, like whenever you want to create a connection with this server, and at that time, if the server is busy, then this server simply drop your request, and on the basis of that request, it simply plugged a reset flag over on that information and forward that information towards your system. Whenever the system receives the packet and check that particular packet carries a reset flag, then it simply knows that now the server is busy, and after some time it simply retry the connection with the server. So to doing this specific task, we are having the reset flag on our TCP. Okay. Last
yeah.
thing is about your finish flag, and the finish flag is used to negotiate. Okay, like to terminate the process, both the devices negotiated the fin flag. Okay, on the basis of this fin flag, both the devices confirm that the all the information should negotiated properly between them, and now it's time to finish the connection. And it simply close the connection after negotiating the finish flag. So this is all about your reliable connection TCP, and this is all about your three-way handshake and the flags. I think that I may discussed or I may delivered all the information clearly towards you. Is it understandable,
Yes, sir.
Ramesh?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it very clear or it
Yeah.
is clear? Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So the next part is about your UDP. Okay. UDP stands for the user datagram protocol, which means that it is the only reliable protocol because it doesn't perform any type of services to create a reliable connection. Okay. So specifically, the acknowledgement concept is not present in UDP. That's why we confirm that the UDP is a unreliable protocol. Okay, so it's simply used to fast data sharing or data processing process over our device. Okay, so in UDP, it has a constant information, like it is divided into four part, and the whole header information is up to 8 byte. Okay, so the first information is about your source port number. Second one is about your destination port number. Third one is about your checksum, and the last one is about your length, which means that the header length. On the whole information should have to 8 byte. Okay,
Yeah.
and what is the basic difference between TCP and UDP? TCP is a slow protocol because it simply needs an acknowledgement whether it simply send the segment to its opponent. Okay, that's why it is a slow protocol. But in the case of UDP, you can see UDP doesn't need any acknowledgement whether it simply share its information to its opponent. Okay, that's why it continuously send all the information one after another to its opponents, and it is known as the fast protocol. Okay. Second thing
Yeah.
is about TCP is a little bit slow protocol because it is wait for the acknowledgement. That's why it is a slower protocol comparison with UDP. UDP doesn't need any acknowledgement from its neighbor. That's why it is share the whole information one after another, and that process is extremely very fast. That's why the UDP named as the fast protocol comparison with TCP. TCP is the reliable protocol because it needs an acknowledgement, and the UDP doesn't have the acknowledgement. It means that it is an unreliable protocol. Okay, the data transmission. Sorry, sorry. Just give a minute. The data retransmission is possible on TCP because the connection is reliable and the loss, the chance, TCP has the minimum chance of data loss, where the UDP has the maximum chance of data loss. Like, it is the only level protocol, which means that it doesn't check any availability in between the devices, whether it simply negotiate the information towards its opponent. In that case, whether the opponent is not ready, then at that time it simply loses all the data, and all this data should not be retransmitted retransmitted further. That's why the retransmission process is possible on TCP, where the data transmission process is not possible on UDP. Okay, the chance of data loss is minimum in TCP, and the chance of data loss is maximum on UDP. So these are the some basic or some important difference in between our TCP and UDP. Okay, so is there any doubts, Ramesh?
No, sir.
It is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Ramesh, just give me a time. I need some tissues. Just give me a quick time. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Ramesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ramesh. Uh, okay. So this is all about your transport layer. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about its next layer, which is the network layer. Okay.
Okay.
We are just discussing some of uh, like a very little bit information about network layer for today's class. Okay. And
Yeah.
for next class, we are continue all the things in detailed about the network layer. Okay.
Okay.
So Ramesh, now there is there is a question for you. What do you mean by the word that you heard now? Like what network?
Uh, Network means mm, the data for using. Uh,
Okay, okay. Ramesh, yeah, I started the recording. Fine. Oh, okay, Ramesh. Specifically, network stands for a group. Okay, whenever you arrange more than one anything like more than one people gathered in a place, that particular area named as a network of people. Okay, like you arranged more than one book on your table, that table is a place where you create a network of books. Somehow, whether you connect more than one system with each other, that particular connection is named as a network. Okay, so the network is simply used to identify a typical types of group of anything. Is there any book, PCs, persons, anything that you should choose? Okay,
yes, sir.
so networks means that sorry, the network stands for a group. Okay, and this network, like in this network field, we are erasing or we are connecting more than two systems with each other. That particular connection that established to connect more than one system with each other, that particular connection is named as the network. Where over that particular connection, if the information flow or negotiated between them, that particular task is known as the networking. Networking is the process where over a available connection, information should flow from one device to another. That process is named as networking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the network is up to two types. One is the LAN and the second one is about your WAN. What is LAN? LAN stands for the local area network. Local area network. What does it means? It means that like
The nearest.
more than one device should connected with each other and you can able to locate that particular area, and also all the devices should managed by a single administrator. That particular network is named as local area network. Okay, and
Yeah.
what about WAN? WAN stands for wide area network, where you can simply say that uh, connection of multiple LAN network, where you don't know the actual area of a network, where more than one administrator involved to negotiate or to manage the whole data sharing process. So that particular network is known as the wide area network. Okay, like you can easily say that where the devices connected with each other and that particular area should not be signified or we are not able to identify that particular area, and all the devices should managed by more than one system administrator. That particular network is known as the wide area network. And now we are discussing about the network layer behavior, where the network layer is specifically responsible to share information from one network to another network, like one LAN to another LAN. Like network layer is responsible to manage the WAN network. Okay,
Oh,
it's simply responsible to share or to negotiate information between them, whether we will whether we will will get some trouble in the data transmission process, then it's simply used to troubleshoot the problem as much as it can. Okay, so along with this task, it's simply do two major type of task as well. The first task is about your logical addressing. Okay, where the second one is about your routing. Logical addressing simply means that the IP addressing process, IP addressing, logical addressing is a process by which we are arranging some logical numbers and and arranging that particular number to identify a particular system in a network. Like what is 1 minute? Sorry. What is logical addressing? Logical addressing is a process by which we are arranging some logical numbers in a way, and that particular number, that particular arranging number, used to identify a PC within a network. That particular process is named as logical addressing. And the second one is about your routing. What is routing? Routing is a process by which devices can able to find the path from from source to destination. On the behalf of that path, they can be able to share information with each other. Okay.
Yeah.
In this logical addressing process, we are having uh, two process, like one is the IPv4 and second one is the IPv6. And the routing, to performing this process, we are also having two type of protocols. One is the routing protocols, that particular protocols mainly involved to find the path from source to destination by which devices can able to share or to negotiate information between them. Okay. and the second and the second protocol is about your routed protocol. And the routed protocol is the protocol which is able to carry the data on the available path. Like you can see, like I want to share if so I want to travel from Delhi to, like this is Delhi, from Delhi to Chennai. Okay. So
Okay.
I first check the path available or not, the train track, the connectivity is successfully available or not in between this Delhi to Chennai path. After that, if the connection is available, okay, that process, to doing that process, we are using the routing protocols on this available path. Now the second thing is to carry it. Like I want to move here to there. Like how should I do these things? So here is the train that on this particular machine we can, like I can travel from Delhi to Chennai. Like this is the main thing which is used to carry uh, me from Delhi to Chennai. Like router protocol is responsible to carry the information from one device to another on this available path. Okay, so
Okay.
these are some basic information about your network layer. Okay, so Ramesh, I am gonna stop this session for
Okay.
today. Okay, on the next class we are discussing more about the network layers, where we can discussing about the IP addresses, about your IPv4 and classes, private and public networks, and subnetting process as well. What is subnet mask? Okay, all these things should be discussed on your coming sessions. Okay,
Yeah.
so for today's, thank you for the session, Ramesh. If
Thanks, sir.
you are getting some troubles during your studies or during your revise,
No. Yeah.
during your revision, okay, you will simply text me on WhatsApp. I'm definitely, whenever I have some time, then I definitely send you a reply. Okay, and
Yeah.
you simply do ask some queries, and I definitely be uh, clear. I literally be there to solve all the problems. Okay,
Okay.
that you asked to. Okay, so
Yeah.
for today, Ramesh, I am gonna
Okay.
stop. Yes. Okay, Ramesh.